Today's day 26 and it's also 8th of August. And 8th of August is a magnificent portal, so-called Lion's Gate. I'm not going to bore you with the astronomy and astrology of it, but essentially, in a nutshell, it's the most potent time. It's like eclipses meets full moon, and on steroids, kind of great time to manifest, basically, to set your intentions, to manifest your heart's desires, and that's it, it has to be your heart's desires. So no strategizing, no business planning, not meeting someone else's expectations, just making sure that you really are asking your heart, what is it at the heart of hearts of yours, what it is that you want, what it is that you desire. So I thought I'd use today's video to talk about my own. In a nutshell, really, She Maverick is my heart's deepest desires, and truest desires, because she and me in it, and me doing the Maverick thing, is me being true to myself and having the courage to be true to myself, no matter what, in the sense, no matter who likes it, who doesn't. More importantly, even if the dearest and nearest reject me, I still walk my path and walk my truth. So that's essentially really what I want, and what I have been doing more than ever before. And yeah, I mean, it's a never-ending path, and it's not like I'm there fully yet, but that's all I ever wanted, really, since I can remember, since I was little. And so yeah, so then I suppose there is content to this. So in a sense, so this is the principle. So I just walk my path, or rather I speak my truth. And it's actually, no, it's not about speaking my truth, it's about living my truth. I choose very much not to speak my truth to everyone, and I think that's wise. I would advise that everyone to do that. And I speak again from the point of knowing, well, living in a culture where telling truth and being honest is like, it's like the highest criteria to, the top criteria for being a good quality person. And I have therefore seen it on my skin, observed it in other people's lives, experienced it obviously myself. It's just, it's an excuse for basically all kinds of horrible ways with people. So I'm not going to go into that today, but I will another time. So it's not about speaking my truth. It's not about speaking my truth. It's about living my truth. And so an example of that is, I spoke of this before, like not responding, not answering to anyone, meaning if people ask me questions and if I don't feel like actually answering, as because I don't feel like I'm adding goodness, or adding anything good to the conversation, or to the dynamic, to the relationship. Not that I have either conversations or relationships, but I'm careful where I'm coming from with my answers. So like I spoke before, it can't be out of fear, or out of fear of being rejected, right? So my point is, here in this instance, like walking your truth as opposed to, and living it as opposed to speaking it, is essentially about people can see your truth if you live it. Now, they will interpret it differently. And if you were to ask them what they see, you will find yourself surprised, if not even downright outraged, that is what they see. But that's on them. So, but if you were trying to speak it, either as you walk it, you're describing yourself. That's the whole thing about explaining and language. And I just feel, why would you do? The only reason why we do that is so that we avoid or prevent people judging us, or unfairly. And that's not nice. Trust me, I know that, to be unfairly judged, at least according to us, to me in this case. But again, it's the kind of seeking approval. It's like wanting to control the reactions of others and how we are received. And as I keep going back to this one thing, as long as your physical existence isn't endangered, it's just ego stroking and vanity fair type of, you're coming from those places when you're trying to explain yourself or your truth. And then the second piece about telling your truth, I think actually this video ended up being about the truth telling, so okay. The other piece where I don't think it's healthy, it's on those social media, which I'm hardly on anymore, but I used to be on Facebook, for instance, and there was just so many conversations. Well, they're called conversations. They're just downright nasty arguments. Ugh, horrific. I used to, and I would not be there much, but I would. I remember starting one about, or rather, engaging with someone who was posting about, like breastfeeding old children in public. By old, I mean 8 or 7 or something. Or did we just touch on that as part of that exchange? Or was just childlessness and stuff by choice, something along those lines, like a super sensitive issue. And I had people like, not horrifically, I never really had those nasty ever responses in my whole life on my social media, but I did have those like more passive aggressive, and people trying to be polite while really kind of screaming inside. It's and I remember navigating that really well. But that was it. I was like a diplomat. I was navigating my way through those minefield essentially. And I was kind of happy with the result, meaning I did feel I did a really good job, meaning no one felt offended, everyone felt heard. But do you see what that is? It's like, it's a job. You're just doing that. Not to mention, you are assuming that these people need you to look after them in this way. Now they did, or rather, the fact that I took it upon myself to speak to them in those certain ways that would not inflame the conversation further is really a job of a diplomat. And political, social things, whatever. And it's, you need, in politics and in societal structures that we have, having more people like this, let's say, doing this kind of work, proper diplomacy where no one's inflamed. Things are being, everyone feels heard and taken into account, and the rest. Yeah, it's fantastic. Reality, I doubt actually it's like that. I stopped watching politics for quite some time now, because it's just horrific as well, full of inflammatory everything. But you see what I mean? It's like, it's necessary if you want to hold many people together. And in my personal life, since I'm not a politician and I don't work for a company, and these people I was just referring to were not part of my team or something. So as long as it's not anything, it's not that, so it's not politics, it's not my job, physical work kind of thing, I am not doing that work. You need to look after your own reactions. I don't engage generally, as you know by now, on this channel. I just find it just like not interesting. It just drains me straight away. So that's it. That's my ultimate heart's desire to just. So that was the point about the content. Meaning, this is the principle. So I walk my truth no matter what. Live it and walk it, not speak it necessarily, unless I want to. And then what the truth is. So that's the other piece of that heart's desires. That's the content. That's the sort of bullet points list of this and that, and then the other, and then this, and then that, and then that, and then this. And for that, I don't have the energy or the kind of, nothing's coming now. I kind of usually take a long time to craft my sentences around my intentions, and plus I'm never really sure if it's a good thing to make them public. Don't feel so. Maybe it's just because I'm relatively new to this, like a few years doing this only. This kind of setting of intentions with the moon or with these kind of portals and all the rest. So I don't know, we'll see, but not today. It's just to walk my truth no matter what. And there was a video about truth telling and the differences why not to tell truth and actually just walk it. Just walk it. Be an example of something and of your truth, not a definition or an essay or an explanation. I think there's so much, it's healthier and cleaner. That was day 26, I think. See you tomorrow.